question, I'm going to talk about 3 different scenarios of the hence part. Okay, so the first part, find the range of inequality that satisfies this. Okay, I have already done it already. So if this is the answer, okay, if you want to test yourself, let's pause the video right now and test yourself on whether you can get the answer for this. Okay, so pause it right now, work it out, see whether you can get the same answer as me. Okay, now let's say you have already gotten this answer. So this is the answer for my first part. Okay, I look at the part 1 where I'm talking about 8 plus modulus x over 4 minus x square, okay, greater equals to 3. I want you to know that x square is the same as modulus x square. X square is always positive. Modulus x is always positive. So they will conveniently take out the modulus because it doesn't make sense. A positive and a positive number, this thing is already 100% positive already. So I do not need to reinforce that it is still positive, okay? But in order to do the substitution part, okay, you must make sure that all your x values are easily replaceable, okay? So all the x values are now this and this. Then you can say, I'm going to let x equals to modulus x and put it into my answer in part 1. Negative 2 modulus x, negative 4 over 3. All modulus x greater than 0. So in this part, an A, because all modulus x must be greater than 0 or equals to 0. Okay. Next part, modulus x is less than 2 and greater than 1. So you got to split this simultaneously. Modulus x greater equals to 1. Modulus x greater than k, x less than negative 1 or x greater than 1. Then split the other one. Modulus x less than 2, x is in between negative 2 as well as 2. So for the final answer, you got to put it in the new number line, minus 2, 2 over here to here, as well as minus 1 from here. Okay, this can be equals to, here to the left and here to the right. And you see this overlapping region here, Therefore, my final answer is x greater than negative 2, smaller equals to negative 1, or x greater equals to 1, strictly smaller than 2. Okay, and this is how you replace the x with modulus x. Okay, and then solve a modulus simultaneous equation by splitting it up again and then combine it at the end. Okay, now for part 2. Okay, part 2 is a little bit harder. Again, remember that the question is 8 plus x over 4 minus x squared greater equals to 3. Now, this was done already. You already got the answer. The answer is over here. We are looking at negative 8 plus x over 4 minus x squared lesser than equals to negative 3. Number one, when you see this kind where the sign change, right, the gut feel is there's a negative involved. So I multiply by negative 1 first to make the right side equals to 3. And when I multiply by negative 1 on both sides, my sign need to flip. So this is 8 minus x over 4 minus x squared greater equals to 3. Now I have settled this part and this part. They are exactly the same. So your original one is 8 plus x over 4 minus x squared. But this is 8 minus x over 4 minus x squared. The clue comes from the top. If I'm going to make this to become 8 plus, this is going to be a negative x. So you ask yourself, my bottom, the x guy, can it be a negative x square? Yes, because when your negative x square is going to be the same as positive x. Okay, so this is actually quite tricky. So I know that I'm going to let x equals to negative x. Plug it into my answer for the first part. Negative 2, strictly negative x, negative 4 over 3. Okay, I know I have to multiply by 1, negative 1 on both sides. Okay, multiply by negative 1. But when you multiply by negative 1 on both sides, right, the 2 is going to be the bigger value. So it will come over here. Then when you multiply by negative 1 to negative 4 over 3, this will come over here. You have to change the places because 2 is greater than 4 over 3. Now, next part, sorry, the inequality sign. Yeah, correct, will change. Next part, there is a x in between 1 lesser than 2, Same thing, sorry, let x equals to negative x into my question. I'm going to get this. I multiply by negative 1. The final answer is going to be this negative 1. Okay, 2. Okay, and this is my final answer if I let x equals to negative x. Okay, as well as for the next part, again, I'm going to write down the question. The question is 8 plus x over 4 minus x squared greater equals to 3. Now, what the question, second part, hence part once is this 4 minus x minus 1 square greater equals to 3. Actually, quite obvious. This x is being replaced by x minus 1. Over here, does it make sense? Yes, because if I have here 8 plus x minus 1 over 4 minus x minus 1 square greater equals to 3, I'm going to get my desired result, x plus 7 over 4 minus x minus 1 square greater equals to 3. So I'm going to let x equals to x minus 1. This is pretty simple. Put it into your answer in the on the which is this x minus 1, 4 over 3. I add 1 to all the sides, negative 1 x. Okay, add 1 to negative 1/3, or x minus 1 greater equals to 1 less than 2. Okay, I'm going to add 1 on both sides. So x is greater than 2 and lesser than 3. And then this is my answer for this part of the hence part. Okay, so the hence part of this is really understand which point, okay, or rather which x to sub into so that you can get your desired question for the hence part.